Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Welcome back. I hope that you are all well. This is where I talk about the books that I'm reading. I like to read diverse books and I highlight Canadian literature. If you are new, thanks so much for checking out my channel. Please hit subscribe and stick around. Today, if you like book recommendations, you are in the right place because I am going to talk about books that I have put on my TBR because of you. Now, these books, thankfully, do not count towards my TBR stack, which, as you know, is huge, since those are the physical books on my shelves. But these have been added to what I call my wish list TBR. Books that sound really good, that if I get the chance, I might pick them up and check them out. I was originally planning to do this video sometime last year, like October, November, before life kind of took over again and I had taken a bit of hiatus. But I didn't want to forget about all of these potentially amazing books that are on my radar because of you. I've done a few of these videos now, and I basically have a very long list of books that I'm interested in because of watching other booktubers talk about books and recommend them, or subscribers and viewers have also recommended them. So in 2022, I think I did 3 or 4 of these videos, and in 2023 I was able to do 2, and then this one was in the planning stages before life happened. So today I am going to catch up and tell you about books that I still want to read because of you. I will link everyone who has channels below. I will link the videos below that inspired these as well. And some of these go as far back as July of 2023, so this is a bit of a throwback. So first up is a book from Nyx, from Nyx Reads. She talked about this in her July 2023 wrap-up. And Nyx is another Canadian booktuber. She has a great channel. She actually had a couple of books in this video that I was interested in. The first is Wrong Place, Wrong Time, and this is by Gillian McAllister. This is a mystery book, and Nyx says that she didn't see the ending coming at all, and I love that. There's also a bit of a time travel in this, and I think I would like this. I'm definitely interested in trying it out. Nyx talked about Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz, another mystery, or actually she called this a whodunit, within a whodunit. So there's 2 murderers that you're trying to figure out. And these are both fitting for March Mystery Madness too, which, you know, you still have a bit of time left. Next up are 2 books that Danni from Danni Dabbles talked about in a video where she was ranking new releases, again, 2023. I think it was from January to July of 2023. And she had read almost 20 new releases, and 2 of the books piqued my interest. Now, Danni reads books with pirates and dragons and all kinds of things that I don't really read, but every once in a while we have some overlap, and I love that. So the first book is A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. And this is a horror, and Danni said that Kingfisher, you know, builds up a good atmosphere, so I really like that. And it might be one where I think we would agree. The other book that Danni talked about that I absolutely will read is The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. Not only is this cover stunning, but Danni talks very highly about this book. One of the characters is imprisoned in a library, and I love books about books or bookish things or set in bookish ways. Next up is Russell from Ink and Paper blog. Russell's did an August 2023 book haul, and I was really interested in The Forest Brims Over by Maru Avase, translated from the Japanese by Haydn Trowell. The cover is gorgeous, and this just sounded like a really interesting story. Russell called it a fantasy narrative about a woman who takes her power back. So the main character has been her husband's muse for a long time, and it seems he wants to keep her contained, and he perceives her a certain way. And then the woman eats some seeds, and different parts of her body sprout roots and flowers. And I think this has potential to be really, really good. In Russell's July 2023 wrap-up, he talks about a book called Barbara Isn't Dying by Alina Bronsky. This is translated from the German by Tim Mohr. This is a story about a couple. The husband has to learn how to be independent and how to say goodbye to his wife that he is totally denying is as ill as she is. Russell said that fans of A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman would probably enjoy this. And then he said, except it's sadder. So I was like, sign me up. He also talked about the book having a sense of humor alongside the sadness. And I absolutely love when an author can do that, and especially if they can do it well. Next up is a recommendation from one of my viewers. On my video, it was a book recommendation tag. Melissa My Bubbles commented, and Melissa has given me many recommendations. She reads historical books, and I don't read a lot of just plain history books. But one book that she mentioned that intrigued me was Weird Women, Classic Supernatural Fiction by Groundbreaking Female Writers. And this is from 1852 to 1923. It's edited by Lisa Morton. And I am mostly interested because the anthology includes authors that I wouldn't immediately put in the supernatural fiction category, like Louisa May Alcott, Frances Hodgson Burnett. So I'd love to check this out and just see what kind of surprises there are. Next, Olly from Criminale did a video on best debut novels, and he talked about the best debut horror novel that he's read in a while. And it was Mary by Nat Cassidy. Olly said to go in blind and not read the back of the book. And I am always interested in men who write female characters well, especially in this case where the main character is going through menopause. And since I've seen this on Olly's channel, I have actually seen it, others talk about it as well. But I really am trying to go in as blind as possible for when I am ready to read it. Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot shared over 30 Australian recommendations. It included some books that are kind of already on my radar, mostly I would say because of Scott. But there were also some new miserable reads, which you all know I'm really interested in. But the one that I'm really interested in is No Hard Feelings by Genevieve Novak. Scott said it's the funniest book he read last year, and that's all he had to say to convince me to pick it up and try it out. So I'm looking forward to, when I do get to it, to just enjoying this one. I started this list with a Canadian booktuber, and I'm going to finish it with a Canadian booktuber. The final recommendation on the list is from fellow Canadian booktuber Elisabeth from Book Wins and Books. She did a video about Canadian nonfiction, and I must say that we could just do a whole video on that topic in and of itself. Elisabeth has great Canadian nonfiction in this video, several that I had read, but one that I am interested in checking out that I hadn't heard of is Life Sentence by Christie Blatchford. Now, Christie Blatchford was a columnist and journalist that covered a lot of trials. And this is a book about what she thought of the judiciary state in Canada. Elisabeth talked about it covering some interesting things with regard to some high-profile cases in Canada. So I would be interested in learning more about this for sure. So these are all books that I have on my TBR because of you and your recommendations. So at least it catches me up for last year. Thanks to everyone for the recommendations. I will leave links below to all of the people that gave recommendations and to the other videos that I've done like this. Altogether, there's quite a list of books, that were influenced by you. I will also post a video probably sometime in April about books that are on my radar, again, because of you, with some recommendations from, I would say, from the start of 2024. I should probably, at some point, do a video about the books that I've actually read from these recommendations, because I have read some of them. Please let me know if you have read any of these books on this list. Do you have one that you think I should prioritize? And who has influenced you recently to pick up a book? I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.